courtesy of Bevan, VK5BD's ATV and YouTube channel. VK1WIA National News, Radio Sport and Wireless Weather is next.
From Australia, this is the Wireless Institute of Australia with the weekly news service. This broadcast is in text, audio and video and is accessed on wia.org.au.
Yes, in our 26th year of non-stop news, I'm Graham, VK4BB, with the national news for week commencing December 5, 2021. hamads.com.au. And Trent, VK4TS, explains how it complements the buy, sell and swap we at the WIA started way back in 1933. In international news, Jason, VK2LAW, reports on a story, Is India to develop HF over-the-horizon radar? And also from IARU Region 3, the Indian government asks Indians not to subscribe to Elon Musk's satellite internet service, Starlink. Felix looks at an almost once-a-year event, well, almost, and that's the activation of AX4WIT. Clive, VK6CSW from the Radio Amateurs Old Timers Club of Australia, and also, in special interest group news, Bruce looks at a great Indonesian initiative where their representative body, Arari, has joined forces with the Defence Department and will be bringing ham radio to any needed emergency as they sign on in this new MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding. And with the latest on WIA activity and how the WIA helps all amateurs, WIA Secretary Peter joins us.
Yeah, thanks Graham, and good morning amateurs and shortwave listeners. As we come out of these COVID lockdowns and lockouts, we reflect on how it has impacted on our amateur radio service. Reports out of the UK show a significant increase in the number of amateurs sitting exams and becoming licensed. Similar reports are coming out of the US. Unfortunately, the same is not true for Australia. Why is this so? I cannot, for one, see why this should be the case. Australia has an extensive club network who can promote amateur radio in the community. Sitting examinations should not be difficult, and the procedure for obtaining call signs and licences are well documented and not overly burdensome. So why have we not experienced a notable increase in licensed amateur radio operators? I'm not sure. What can we do about this? Well, firstly, it's important for clubs to promote amateur radio. The clubs have just appointed, the WIA has just appointed a new club liaison officer, and he is keen to work with clubs to get the latest contact information on the WIA website. A quick look at the number of people accessing the WIA website is enlightening. There are a large volume of clicks, but if the information is incorrect or outdated, it does not lead to any contact, and the candidate probably loses interest. The board of the WIA encourages clubs to update the club listing to ensure the latest information is available to the public. I also encourage clubs to list activities on the WIA calendar. If you can't access your club website, please contact the National Office of the WIA by email for assistance. This has been WIA Director Peter, VK8ZZ, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas.
hamads.com.au. Since the first issue of Amateur Radio magazine released by the WIA on the 1st of October 1933, Hamads has been a prominent presence as the premium buy-sell platform, and now, 88 years later, Hamads is now online to complement the current AR magazine content. After a number of inquiries and requests from members, the WIA has created a members classified website, Hamads. If you're a WIA member or registered on MemNet, you can join. But wait, there's more. Even WIA non-members can access the site as well, viewing adverts and contacting vendors. Clear out the shack with the classifieds and auction sales. And right now, Hamads is ready to accept your advertisements. However, this is currently a beta release, and we didn't want to hold back the release for our members. The Hamad teams will be fine-tuning the site to improve the user experience, so please report any anomalies found as we value your feedback to hamadsonline@wia.org.au. Go to Hamads now. This is Trent, VK4TS.
Now, international news with Jason, VK2LAW.
Hello, leading international news from IARU Region 1, FFP2 masks for ham radio exams in Germany. Due to the pandemic, Germany's Federal Network Agency requires those taking amateur radio exams at the Berlin, Nuremberg and München exam venues to wear FFP2 masks of at least 94% filtration. A translation of a DARC post reads, relating to the coronavirus COVID-19, authorities advise you to wear an FFP2 or medical mask. Only FFP2 masks are permitted at these locations. Vaccinated test subjects must provide evidence of a complete vaccination. Those who have recovered need a PCR or other nucleic acid verification from at least 28 days and a maximum of 6 months ago. All other participants require a certificate of a successful negative rapid test within the last 24 hours before the start of the test. Belgium's communications regulator, BIPT, is to hold an amateur radio exam in the southern Belgian province of Luxembourg in Wallonia on January 7. BIPT had previously announced a cancellation of amateur radio exams at its exam centre until at least the end of the year due to the pandemic. Translation of the new post by the UBA reads, "We are pleased to announce the first general public examination organised outside the walls of BIPT. The exam will be held on Friday, January 7 at the Euro Space Centre. The exam is open to all candidates for the Basic, Novice or Harrick certificate." In news from Region 2, the FCC has given its first OK for the manufacture of an FM-capable citizens band radio in the US market. President Electronics of Naples, Florida, was given the go-ahead to introduce the model known as the President Thomas to US consumers. Authorisation was granted on November 10th, allowing operation between 26.965 MHz and 27.405 MHz with a maximum output of 4 watts. The FCC acted after the radio was certified by Timco Engineering, a Florida company under contract to act on the agency's behalf. This past summer, the FCC approved FM as an option for citizens band users. The SWL in post said on its website that it was unclear how soon the radios might be in distribution. In news from Region 3, government asks Indians not to subscribe to Elon Musk's satellite internet service Starlink. Elon Musk's SpaceX does not have the licence to offer broadband internet services in India, says Ministry of Communication, and it's asked its citizens not to subscribe to the service. The government issued an advisory asking citizens not to subscribe to Elon Musk's satellite broadband service in India. SpaceX's satellite broadband arm Starlink internet services is not licensed in India to offer satellite-based internet services in India and stands barred to offer any such services in the country, it said. The DOT has asked the billionaire's Internet from Space company to comply with the regulatory framework for offering the service in India and stop booking or rendering the internet service in India with immediate effect. Still in India to develop HF-OTH radar. A report on the Alpha Defence site suggests India may be building its own HF over-the-horizon OTH radar. The site says, in a big development, the Premier Radar Development Lab of DRDO is working on an over-the-horizon OTH radar system to keep a close eye on Chinese movement in the Indian Ocean region, IOR. The Indo-Pacific is now turning out to be the most important part of the world today. For India, this part of the world is even more important as it is India's backyard. The prototype radar will have 2 different type of radar arrays, the wire log periodic antenna array and broadband monopole array. It's believed the log periodic antenna array will be used to identify the best frequency to use. When you live underneath the radar, there's no way that you're ever going to get far. Okay, so that's with apologies to Underworld's hit from 1988. And you can read the full story in our text version on wia.org.au. And wrapping up this week's international news, new law hits AIS beacons. A new law introduced by Beijing appears to have resulted in ships turning off their automatic AIS beacons 161.975 MHz or 162.025 MHz when in Chinese waters. A report by Benedict Brooke in news.com.au says vessels from around the globe, from tankers to cargo ships, have disappeared from global tracking systems as they've entered some of the world's busiest shipping lanes close to Chinese ports. As the ship leaves Chinese waters, they reappear again. On November 1, a new law came into effect in China restricting foreign access to any data, potentially including shipping data, deemed to have a bearing on national or economic security. On the same day, a report on the government-controlled China Central Television CCTV Focus news program stated that suspicious radio equipment had been found in the home of a radio enthusiast close to a military base and commercial port in Zhangjiang, in the country's south, west of Hong Kong. The broadcast said the enthusiast, not to be confused with any radio ham, had installed the equipment which would aid the global tracking of ships in real time via the internet. The man had no qualms about his high-tech delivery. After all, collecting data on the movement of ships is nothing new. The major way maritime vessels are tracked is through the Automatic Identification System, or AIS, which is kind of air traffic control for the seas. It uses transceivers fitted on vessels to transmit their position. The data is then picked up by other vessels, satellites or AIS base stations on land. The information can show an individual vessel's position, speed, name and destination. It's considered vital in modern shipping and allows ships, particularly in busy sea lanes, to know where the position of other vessels are to avoid collisions. It also gives an overview of maritime congestion and allows anyone who wants to keep a tab on commercial vessels. For VK1WIA National News in Sydney, I'm Jason, VK2LAW.
This is the home service of the Wireless Institute of Australia through VK1WIA. Now operational news with Felix, VK4FUQ.
Hello there. December 4 and 5, 160 metres worldwide. December 11-12, 10 metres worldwide. 2022. January, the entire month every year, is the WIA Ross Hull VHF UHF Marathon Contest. 0000 hours UTC 1 January to 23:59 hours UTC 31st January. WIA VHF UHF Field Days, Summer 2022. 0100 hours UTC Saturday 15 January through 00:59 hours UTC Sunday 16 January. Dipperson VK6. John Moore Memorial Field Day, March 2022. DX Window, AX4WIT. News at this station for its just about once a year day. January 26, which is Australia Day and a Wednesday next year, Townsville Club will activate from their usual camp out Blue Water Way. Blue Water, for the uninitiated, is about 30 kilometres from Townsville CBD. Belgian Special Prefix. Belgian Institute for Postal Services and Telecommunications has announced that Belgian radio amateurs and Belgian radio clubs may replace the normal prefix ON in their call sign by the special prefix OS until December 12, 2021. This to celebrate the 120th anniversary of the first transatlantic radio transmission on December 12, when Marconi first succeeded in bridging the Atlantic Ocean with wireless signals. Happy and Holy Christmas. Special Dutch call signs for December, January. On the occasion of Christmas, Raymond, Winjand and Ramona will activate 3 special call signs: PA21XMAS, PD21 Santa, PD22 HNY. The 3 stations are active until January 31, 2022. Both on the more local to them 70 cm and 2 metre bands, and HF WDXs using SSB, FT4, FT8 and SSB. Radio amateurs who work at least 2 of the 3 Christmas stations are eligible for a certificate. OF9X All Father 9 Christmas. This Finnish station has excited the little radio operators and their families for many years from the land of Christmas. OF9X in December. Indian special event. For the 16th year, look for special event station AU2JCB to be active until December 15 on 86 metres SSB. Operations are to celebrate the 163rd anniversary of the birth, November 30, of Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose, India's greatest scientist and inventor, who they consider to be the father of wireless communication. Budapest Amateur Radio Society are on the HF bands until December 16, using the call sign HG5 Planet, celebrating the Nature-Friendly Development Sustainability Expo in Budapest. EQSLs are requested. Argentina. Last day is the try for the special event station L21 RCA, which has been QRV all year, celebrating the 100th anniversary of the IAAU Member Society Radio Club Argentino. QSL via LU4AA. South Shetland Islands. Lee DS4 NMJ is QRV as DT8A as part of a scientific team on the King Sejong Korean Antarctic Base on King George Island, IOTA AN010, until December 31. Activities on the HF bands using CW, SSB and FT8. QSL via DS5 TOS. Finland. Special event station OH100 SRAL is QRV until the end of the month, celebrating the centennial of the Finnish Amateur Radio League. QSL via the Bureau. Croatia 9A. Members of the Croatian Flora Fauna ARC are QRV with special event call 9A10FF to celebrate the club's 10th anniversary. QSL via 9A2MF. Members of the Swiss National Organisation USKA, supported by the Radio Amateur Club Swissair HB9VC, join the celebrations around the Antarctic Treaty with the call sign HB60ANT until the end of the month. QSL via Club Log OQRS, sending a card is not necessary. Portugal. CQ750 RSI commemorates the 750th anniversary of the birth of Elizabeth of Aragon, the Queen Consort of Portugal and patron saint of their city of Coimbra. QSL to home call CT7AQD. Listen out for RSGB range call sign GB21 Iota. They have set this call for allocation to youngsters who operate throughout December. Bruce VK3FFF will have many more Iota stations details when he joins us shortly here on the News You Can Trust from your WIA. Canadian Special Event. Look for special event station VX3 Insulin from Ontario to be active between December the 1st to 31st. Activities to mark the 100th anniversary of a Canadian team at the University of Toronto's discovery of insulin in the summer of 1921. Operations will be primarily digital, with FT8 and FT4 being the dominant modes of use. QSL via V3NOO. Taiwan. QRV is BX30 ARL until the end of December, marking the 30th anniversary of the Chinese Taipei Amateur Radio League. BX30 ARL has been heard on 40 through to 6 metres. QSL via BM2JCC. For VK1WIA National News, I'm Felix, VK4FUQ in England.
This is the home service of the Wireless Institute of Australia through VK1WIA. Now, special interest group news with Bruce, VK3FFF.
And a very good day to you. Worldwide, special interest groups Astronomical. Radars scoping from Canada have detected an outburst of Andromeda meteors. This unexpected outburst means that Earth has encountered a stream of debris from Biela's comet, a source of meteor storms in the 19th century, with forecasters saying this could herald increased activity in the years ahead. The team of astronomers has already predicted a strong naked-eye Andromeda outburst in December 2023. If they're right, the display 2 years from now could yield as many as 200 bright meteors an hour, surpassing even the Perseids and Geminids. Full story dated Tuesday, November 30th is on spaceweather.com. Worldwide special interest groups ballooning. A 10-year-old ham launches his third high-altitude APRS balloon. 10-year-old radio amateur Max W0MXX has been building amateur radio APRS transmitter payloads to act as tracking beacons and launching them into the stratosphere. He is a member of the Medway Balloon Society and has recently launched his third balloon flight, WB3. In early June, Max launched WB2, which only captured about 30 seconds of video footage due to a hidden trash folder full of tests. WB2 also required the help of a tree climber to retrieve the payload where all the electronics and software were located. Max then successfully launched, tracked and recovered, using ham radio technology, WB 2.5, which Max called an epic moment. That payload had a great deal of footage, with one small problem which they resolved in the field. He said, now it didn't go perfectly due to some kind of automatic white balancing. The footage ended up tinted completely red, so we had to colour correct it, said Max, who will enter 5th grade in the fall. WB3 had more weather sensors and flew with some science experiments. Watch on YouTube. WB3 launched Earth into the stratosphere for science. Worldwide special interest groups, final frontier. Russia's Prishol docking module linked up with the International Space Station last weekend, adding the final planned piece of the Russian segment of the outpost to provide a new connection for future crew and cargo ships. The spherical ball-shaped docking node launched on a Russian Soyuz 2.1B rocket from the Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Worldwide special interest groups, radio amateur old-timers, raotc.org.au. With news on the last broadcast for the year from the RAOTC, it's Westward Ho!
Hello everyone, this is Clive, VK6 Charlie Sierra Whiskey, reminding you that tomorrow is the first Monday of the month, time for the Radio Amateurs Old Timers Club of Australia's December Bulletin to go to air. Following the club news, we have 2 articles for you. Solar Panels in Space, read by Ian, VK3JS, and Apple Macintosh System 1.0, read by Bruce, VK3UV, the last in his series of trips down computer memory lane. Everyone, RAOTC members and non-members alike, is most welcome to listen to the program and to join in the callbacks afterwards. Full details of all transmissions, times and modes can be found on the RAOTC website at www.raotc.org.au or just Google RAOTC broadcasts. If none of the transmission times suit you, you can download the audio file at any time from today from the website. Members and friends of the RAOTC in Perth are reminded that the next lunchtime meeting at the Bayswater Hotel is on Tuesday, December the 14th. All are welcome. The first RAOTC Bulletin for 2022 will be on Monday, February the 7th. There is no bulletin in January. On behalf of the President and Committee, may I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a safe, Happy New Year. Once again, tune in tomorrow for the December RAOTC Bulletin. Enjoy the programme and please join in the callbacks afterwards. 7-3 from Clive, VK6CSW.
Thanks, Clive. Now, worldwide special interest groups, Rescue Radio. Indonesian radio hams sign MOU with Defence University. The Defence University of the Republic of Indonesia, Indonesian Defence University Military Training, signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Amateur Radio Organisation of the Republic of Indonesia, ORARI. A translation of the ORARI post reads, The signing of a MOU was carried out by the rector of the Indonesian Defence University, Vice Admiral TNI, Professors Dr. Octavian, and acting chairperson of the Indonesian Radio Amateur Organisation. The Chancellor of the Indonesian Defence University expressed his appreciation and gratitude, and the highest appreciation to the acting general chairperson of ARARI and his entourage, because on the sidelines of their busy schedule they were pleased to be present to sign a memorandum of understanding which contained articles on cooperation in the development of the field, education, research and community service. The Indonesian Defence University wants to install a radio communication system as a backup in anticipation if problems arise with the existing communication network at the Indonesian Defence University. The radio communication system can convey messages quickly, clearly and safely so that the Indonesian Defence University can also adopt a radio communication system. ARARI, if it's related to the world of education, is very closely related. In addition to the importance of the younger generation knowing the activities of radio amateurs in emergency matters, it's also important to introduce digital technology in the field of information to students as well as in conducting research. Grants from Amateur Radio Digital Communications, ARDC, will benefit amateur radio emergency communication networks in Haiti and the US Virgin Islands. The $14,864 grant to the Haiti International Friendship Amateur Radio Club will enable the club to set up a network of HF stations to provide emergency communications to remote areas. The club, in coordination with the Radio Club Tahiti, plans to set up an HF emergency communications network. Haitian amateurs have identified 6 potential stations, and the Haiti International Friendship Amateur Radio Club plans to provide the equipment and personnel to set them up. Grant funds will allow the club to outfit each station with a small generator, an HF transceiver, a power supply and a wire antenna. The Sequoia Amateur Radio Club in the US Virgin Islands will use its ARDC grant to augment the territory's repeater infrastructure, enabling the purchase of backup repeaters, improving repeater coverage and training and equipping new hams. Worldwide special interest groups, Reotc. The calendar may show that this month is December, but the amateur radio calendar calls it something else, Reotc month. This month's 31 days are devoted to encouraging youngsters around the world to get on the air using the letters Y-O-T-A, Reotc, as their suffix in their call signs. International Reotc stations are calling QRZ with operators in their teens and early 20s. Be listening for ZS9 Reotc from South Africa, 5B4 Reotc from Cyprus, OD5 Reotc from Lebanon, and K8Y, K8O, K8T, and K8A from the US. There are many others, and the bands are expected to be busy as the young radio operators vie for various awards and plaques. Stations like Argentina, active as LR1 Reotc, Cuba as CO0 Reotc, and Peru as OA0 Reotc. Listen for and contact these stations as well as all call signs ending in the letters Reotc across the globe. Hams making contacts with these Reotc stations are advised, as always, to remember that they might just be that young radio operator's first contact, so make it memorable. I'm Bruce, VK3FFF from sunny Bendigo.
And with that, we reach the end of WIA News for yet another week. Thanks, Bruce. And thanks, Clive, Felix, Jason, Trent, Peter, and you for listening. Don't forget to watch the video adaptation of this WIA National News. You'll find the link on the WIA homepage, or just search WIA News on YouTube, or the guy that puts it all together and absolutely does a top job, Bevan, VK5BD. Now, Till next we meet, I'm Graham, VK4BB. Walk softly, Christmas is coming.
It's Christmas. Spend your Christmas with us here on
VK1WIA,
your number one radio station.
This broadcast is in text, audio and video and is accessed on wia.org.au.
Courtesy of Bevan, VK5BD's ATV and YouTube channel, this has been WIA National News. We're back now, live and local, and your voice, your callbacks. And don't forget, tick like.